my channel. Welcome if you are new. This is my husband Johnny. He has his own YouTube channel, Mr. Johnny25, so make sure you check it out after this video. I will link it below. Today's video is one that is trending at the moment on YouTube. I'm going to be asking Johnny questions that girls want to ask guys, but they're too scared or they're too embarrassed. So I have a bunch of questions here, and Johnny's going to give his guy opinion, and hopefully we can answer some of these questions for you.
Not opinion, it's knowledge. For this show, can I be referred to as Dr. Morrison, as I am now the guru of all things love?
First question. Who should ask who out?
What, a date?
Yeah. Or, yeah, to be a boyfriend, girlfriend. Who should make the move?
Whoever likes whoever. How about that? Short and sweet. Whoever likes the person, they are the one that makes the...
So you wouldn't mind if a girl asked you out?
Not in the slightest. In fact, it would be quite easy. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love it, yeah.
On a date, who should pay?
Right, that's a very good question, because I'm old school, so I always believe that the man should pay.
I agree.
However, we are now in 2020 where there is equal rights. I could potentially be offending a date if I say I'll pay for it. Right now, you know, I would say let's go 50-50.
Okay.
Obviously, if you are on a date and you've got to play it by ear, you know, if you don't, you know, don't be too eager.
I wouldn't be offended by an offer.
Yeah, an offer. Yeah.
But if you kept going on and I was like, no, please, I would feel more comfortable, and you kept going on, I think that's offensive. That's like throwing it back in my face, because I just want to do what's comfortable. But I wouldn't be offended if you offered. In fact, if you offered, I wouldn't even argue.
Yeah, but we're old school. But obviously now, if you were to say I'll pay, and I say, oh no, we go half, that's fine. You know, just be honest.
Take enough money, just in case.
Yeah, just enough. Yeah, just enough to pay half. No, joking.
What is your biggest turn off?
My biggest turn off is selfishness. Yeah, okay. I think if you are in a relationship with someone, you have to 100% be committed and share, and you know, don't make the one person do more than you. Do the same amount. You know, if not, try and do more than them. You know, be loving, because I think selfishness is the opposite of love.
Do you mind if a girl has spots?
No, I married you, didn't I?
Oh, I should have slapped him.
But she didn't.
I'm too nice. Too nice.
No, baby, of course not. What spots?
Guys, when they're chilling at home, they have their hands down their pants. They just sit there with their hands down their pants. Okay. We all know it. Why do you do that? Don't pretend like you don't.
It's just to make sure they're there.
It's ridiculous.
Just to make sure that
I've asked this before, and that's always the answer I get. That is not actually why you do it.
Yes.
We don't sit with our hands down our bras just to make sure they're there. You know they're there. I think you'd know if they'd fallen off. It'd
be quite nice to see that, though. Anyway, so we men, we like to show our virility by having wide legs. We show our strength. We'll use the word strength. That's a good word. And that's why we do it. So that's what I'm going to go with. Thank you.
Hair preferences. Long or short, up or down?
Short and up.
You totally don't, you're lying.
Yes. I like long hair and down, but that's my preference. You know, some guys like, it's a strange question. It's a personal thing. How does that question help the men, you know, the women out there? Because not all men are like me.
Because if a girl has long hair, she'll probably. I don't know.
She could have short. She
might have short hair,
and she could buy a long hair.
That's true.
She could just put a weave in. You know, hey, this is 2020, man. You can do what you want. Do you know what? I saw a video on YouTube a few weeks ago of a man weave. Now that is a great time to be alive. I want to do it for a video.
Where would you put it? Where would it attach to?
It's glued. It's like a hat, and it glues onto the head. Oh
my goodness, you're not getting that.
And it looks amazing.
I
would have my high top back. I'd be bringing back the 90s New Jack City.
Dressed up or casual?
It depends where we are.
So it doesn't really matter.
No, if we're going out and I'm dressed up to the nines, you know, my date turns up looking like Wurzel Gummidge, then yeah, I may have issues with that. But
are boys scared of commitment?
Once again, speaking from personal experience, I think up until the age of 30, yes. I think up until the age of 30, men tend to be, they tend to hedge their bets, because they might be in a relationship, but they think the grass is greener, so they might see something better.
Is this why, like, if you're dating someone, you go to college or university, they break up because they're like, well, I just want to live my life, you know?
It could be.
Why? When you're with someone because you want to be with them, why question it because you might be in another situation? You could be in a situation tomorrow. Yeah, but you don't know.
I think you've used the word. I think the issue is people are in situationships. They tend to only be
Yeah.
They tend to only...
They're not genuine.
Yeah, they may not be in a relationship, they might be in a situationship. It's something at that time works for them. And yeah, that's quite common. So unfortunately...
That's sad.
Yeah, but that's not... Obviously, not every single person is like... There's lots of very committed under 30s, but just in my experience of people that I know, they're not so committed until they get a little bit older, and then it feels like it's like they get to about 30 plus and they suddenly think, actually, I need to be sensible.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids bring out the maturity in us guys. Yeah, could be that.
Do you care about stretch marks?
Depends where they are.
Are you kidding me?
No, my love, I have absolutely no problem with stretch marks.
That is the right answer, because when you have a baby, that is uncontrollable.
Yes. I only have problems with stretch marks on noses because it shows that they're liars. I love my daddy jokes.
Do you care if the woman is the breadwinner?
No, I don't care. In fact, love, can I quit my job, you go to work and I stay at home?
Yeah.
Yes!
I'd love that. I miss working.
So that means I could do YouTube 24/7.
You could. But I would like you to look after our son 24/7 and
Okay,
YouTube
I'm
being in between.
Okay, yeah, all right. Don't worry, I'll at least feed you at least twice a day, Brandon. Don't worry, I promise.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
What?
I don't want to ask this question.
What?
I'm nervous to ask this question.
Okay.
Okay. How do you feel?
Yeah.
How do you feel about girls passing wind?
Passing wind. Yeah, quite interested that she asked that question.
I wish I didn't.
Well, so I'm going to tell you a little story, people. This is the reality. When I first met this lovely lady here,
Oh my God.
I genuinely believe, this is honest truth, I genuinely believed that she did not pass wind. She was like a queen. She was just this wonderful human being creature that did not pass wind. She didn't even sweat. She was like a princess. And it was absolutely amazing. And then we got married. And about 3 days after we got married, I started hearing noises. And I didn't know where they were coming from because I'd not been used to this. Sarah would go into the kitchen and I'd hear a noise. And I'd be like, what's that noise? No, I don't know, love. Okay. But as our marriage started to go into the years, my darling wife no longer hides her inability to hold in her wind. In fact, I am almost convinced that my wife is a whoopee cushion. I could just touch her and gas will escape. So
not true.
So in answer to your question, which was, because obviously I went out on a tangent, I started telling a story. What was the actual question?
What do you think of girls passing wind?
Well, I actually don't have a choice. So it's one of those things, it's life, it's natural, there's nothing you can do about it.
It's natural.
I've had to accept that you do pass a lot of wind.
Is it okay
Yes.
to think another guy is good looking? If your girl thinks another guy is good looking, you're dating her, but you don't think that's not okay?
No, it's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
It's fine.
We all are, we're human beings and we see beautiful people. There are beautiful people around the world, right? You are a beautiful woman. I appreciate your beauty, but there are also beautiful women as well. Yeah. I mean, and I think that as long as you show respect in that, you know, if we're walking down the high street and I'm holding your hand and we're walking down the high street and a beautiful, you know, Kim Kardashian walks in the opposite direction towards me, I will hold my wife's hand, and in my side eye, I will look to see if she's looking at me, looking at her.
If Kim Kardashian was approaching you in the street, I would let you look at her.
Oh, that's a bit kind of you, darling. But what I'm saying is
I
that...
would look at her.
If I was holding your hand, so Kim Kardashian just walked past me, and now I'm bending my neck to, you know, ogle. That's out of order, and you're being disrespectful to your partner. So I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
You know, I'd get all of my looks as you're walking towards me.
Looks or personality, what's more important?
Obviously, personality is more important than looks, but it is looks that will initially attract you to that person.
Yeah.
Unless it's someone that you've grown up with or
you've known for a long time and everything's grown on you.
Yeah, and their personality is really, really good that you don't even, you see that.
You see past it.
Yeah, you see past it.
Yeah.
So you know, I think if it's fresh, like if you're just going out and you see someone, you don't go, wow, look at their personality, because you don't know their personality. You only know, you know, they look pretty or whatever. So yeah, so I think that it depends the situation, but I think that looks are the things that open the door, but personality is what will make you walk through it.
That's what lasts as well.
Yeah.
Do you care how many boyfriends your girl previously had?
No, I don't have an issue with how many past relationships that you've had. I don't have an issue with it. However,
There's always a but.
there's always a but. I would not date you if you had dated one of my friends. You could, that was your past, that was your life.
Yeah.
You had a life before me. So what right have I to be angry at your past, whatever you did? It's up to you what you want to do. That's the life you want to live. That's it. The day that you and I got together was the day that our relationship started.
And anything previous finished was over. But
if you dated one of my friends, it'd be really uncomfortable. I'd find it really uncomfortable.
I think your friend would as well.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah.
I think I'd be the worst person in the world if I couldn't go and find another guy and had to go to their best mate or something.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to have friends of the opposite sex?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Do you think it's okay to hang out with friends of the opposite sex, just you and them?
Oh, right, okay. I don't have an issue with hanging out with my friends because I wouldn't say problem with hanging out with friends because they were my friends. They're always going to be my friends. But if I think to be on the safe side, I'd probably tell you.
Yeah.
I would let you know that you're in the loop. So my example would be if we went out. If I was just going into town and I saw a friend of mine I hadn't seen for ages, and they said, "Oh, let's catch up, let's go for a coffee." I haven't got a problem with doing that because I haven't seen my friend for ages. So yeah, why wouldn't I? But what if one of your friends saw me with that girl? That they'd be on the phone to you going, "I saw Johnny with blah blah blah," and then you're going to be, "Why are you doing this behind my back?" So what I'd rather do is I'd be quite transparent, blatant, and say to you, "Babe, I've bumped into this person, quick coffee, blah blah blah," and leave it at that. And I think you'd be comfortable with that? Wouldn't you?
I'd be alright. For me, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, you've got friends. We're all like.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of friends of the opposite sex, so it would be upset me if it bothered you when I'm so cool with it, because you're allowed to have friends. I trust you. Coffee's coffee. It's if you're taking her somewhere, and that's the issue.
Yeah,
but I trust you enough not to do that. I think it comes down to trust.
It always comes down to trust.
If you're in a relationship, you should trust that person is gonna.
You have to have
only
respect.
do those things with you.
Our minds, they play tricks on us. It may have been just a really basic, very innocuous coffee catch up, but to the other person, it was, "Why are you doing this behind my back?" And that's when the mind starts to run race with it, and it could be all manner of different things. And then you'll start questioning other things. That, "Oh, where are you now? What are you doing? Blah blah blah." If you just tell that person, if I just say to you, "Babe, this is what I'm doing. I'm out here. I'm with this person. You know where I am." Even if you might say to me afterwards, "Do you know what? I feel uncomfortable." Whatever. At least you spoke. At least you know, because I can almost 100% guarantee that if you get the phone call before I phone you, you will be annoyed.
Yeah, because then you're like, "Why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Why
exactly.
are you hiding it?"
Yeah.
Final question: do you mind if your girlfriend, wife, is friends with her exes? Is it okay to be friends with your exes?
Okay, so if your current partner, let's just say that your current partner has children with an ex, they have no choice but to have a relationship with them because they're children. So that's
entering into that.
That is a fact of life. That if you're with someone who had a previous relationship and they've got children, they 100% have to have a relationship, and you are part of that relationship. So there's going to be 3 people in that relationship, so it will be difficult. And I get that. If there isn't children and there's no necessary reason for you to be meeting up or hanging out, then I think I might have a little bit of a problem. I might feel a bit more uncomfortable about that, only because I would say, how did that relationship end? So let's just say that the two of you broke up and it was him that broke up with you. Then if you're still hanging out with him, in my mind I'm thinking, "Oh, you've got closure. Like, do you still have feelings for him? Are you waiting for him to break up with his next girlfriend or to take you back?" Whereby obviously it could be that you ended it and then you regretted it and you're keeping contact. Just to save all of that drama, I'd probably just not have it. Just because the thing about it is sometimes not having that situation just makes life easier, doesn't it?
I think it does depend on how it ended. I think that you can be kind and civil to people. You can see them down the street. You can say hi, stop and have a chat. But it's how far do you go? Private conversations and messaging each other all the time is a no-go. Meeting up with them is a no-go. If they're in a friendly environment, like if you have a group of friends and they're in that group of friends, that's another situation entirely. I think it's knowing the difference between what a friend is or what being nice is and pleasant to being close.
I agree.
Too much.
I think that if you are in a committed relationship now, you're in a bubble. I always think of a relationship like a bubble, and you're in that bubble, and whilst you're in that bubble together, anybody else is outside of it, and that is so important to have, because the minute you put other people in that bubble, it makes it more difficult. There's less space to breathe, there's less movement, you feel more uncomfortable. And I think that it's probably better to just not have that situation. I just think it's, personally speaking, I just think it's easy just not to have it, because then it just saves any problems. But that's just my experience, and obviously I am Dr. Morrison, and I do know what I'm talking about. So I would say, people, listen to what I am saying, because I am the wealth of knowledge. I know everything, don't I, darling?
Yeah. So that was it, ladies. I hope that was satisfactory, and that you...
What do you mean satisfactory?
I hope that it was satisfactory.
No, it's not satisfactory.
What they want to hear.
This is comical. Listen, this what
comical gold. Is that what you're going to say?
I was actually going to say that, but I was meant to say that this is genius. But comical gold came out of my mouth.
Okay.
So that tells you where my brain was going.
It's even worse that I knew what you were going to say.
Yeah, I know.
That tells you where my brain was going.
That's married life.
Thank you to my husband for answering these questions.
Yes.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Check out Johnny's channel, Mr. Johnny 25. I will link it below. Make sure you subscribe to him. And if you do have any questions that we didn't ask or discuss, leave them in the comments below. And maybe my husband can answer them when they come up.
So Dr. Morrison, I don't charge a lot of money. But obviously your questions, if you put them in the comments, I will answer them with my knowledge. How does that sound?
That's perfect.
Yeah? Okay.
That's great. Thank you, hubby.
That's all right. Dr. Morris.
I was going to give you a kiss and then you said that.
No, because I am Dr. Morrison. You can kiss me afterwards. You haven't said bye yet.
Bye!